So for those of you who are not aware or are familiar, these are the 9 motivations to work. We all have all 9, but we all have them in different orders, and each motivator has its own value and strength. So that's key to find out. And also what we do with that information, once you've completed the online questionnaire, we can put those motivators in order, give them a value, and then we can make sure that you are fulfilling those top motivators on the left-hand side and avoiding doing too much of what's on the right-hand side, the things that don't motivate you. So this is the Team B2B data table. I'm going to talk you through what all this is. There's lots of numbers on there, which probably don't mean anything to you. But for me, as a motivational practitioner, it all sort of lights up and brings to an ability to actually just tap into the overall motivations of the team and then breaking it down into individuals. So first of all, what would I do here? First thing I would do is look at the overall motivational score, 75%. That's good. That's a good place to start, but there's room for improvement. So how would we improve? Well, the first thing we would do, we would look at all those people that are below that average of 75. So one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. So those people are below 75% motivated. And those figures are based on how fulfilled their top 3 motivators are. So what we need to do then is to look at why is it that their motivations are maybe needing to be looked at or just tweaked. So let's take this one, for example, 59% motivated. Their number 1 motivator, which is depicted in red here, which transfers to this one. This is the builder motivator, is their most important motivator, but unfortunately are only feeling that motivator is being fulfilled 6 out of 10. So there's plenty of scope for improving that. So as this is a builder is about material satisfaction and money, then strategies around how to improve sales and income, that sort of thing, would be the reward strategy for this person to improve that number 1 motivator. And then we could also look at their number 2, which is only being met 5 out of 10. And what's that? Oh, that's the spirit. So their number 2 motivator, only 5 out of 10 motivators. So they're not really feeling they're getting much freedom and autonomy. So what can they do about that? Well, one of the things that I recommend for that is doing a stop-start review. So understanding what you need to do more of, what to do less of, what you need to stop doing, and what you need to start doing, those sort of things. So it's an exercise to free up time. So that's an insight into individuals. This data table gives us lots of information. What it also tells us is the top 3 motivators for the team. So this is a fictitious team, you should say, because these are all B2B partners, individuals that we brought together to make this team. But if they were a team, the number 1 motivator would be searcher. So out of the 10, 8 of them have searcher in their top 3, and 7 of them out of 10 have spirit, which is the drive for freedom and autonomy. So those 2 drivers are very important for the members that have completed Motivation Map and are included in this data table. So things that we need to make sure that they're getting lots of feedback, so they're connected to the outcome that they're helping to bring to fruition. So feedback and being connected to that outcome is key. And spirit is understanding that what they want mostly is to be able to make their own decisions, so not to over-manage them. So that's will be one of the keys to leading this team. What I find really interesting, though, is when we can actually avoid potential conflicts, because we know what it's like when you're working in a team. Potentially, there's some things that are going to, I suppose, kick off, I suppose you could say. But when we talk about motivations, when we have opposite motivations, then that's where potentially there might be a little bit of conflict. So let's have so these are where you can see the blue boxes are where it's highlighted the lowest motivator for the person. So it tends to be the lowest motivator against the highest. So blue versus red. So we have that going on a few times. Here's one instance here. Director, so somebody, the thing they least want is to be in control and be the person that makes all the decisions and have the responsibility for that. But there is someone that wants that more than anything. So what are their roles in this team, if it was a team, and is that causing any conflict between those two individuals? So we can make sure that doesn't happen. Another instance here, you can see there's a few people here, again, talk about the money drive. There's a big difference between people that are driven by money and others that are literally, it's the lowest thing on their radar and aren't driven by money. So you can see how these things can potentially lead to conflicts because the people are seeing things completely different. For instance, for the money driver, some of those people, 3 out of 10, are looking for opportunities to increase their wealth and build, get well rewarded monetarily, and others are completely not focused on that. It's their least important thing. They're probably high searchers. So that tends to sort of match up. So that's a little bit more of an insight. One of the things that also comes up now and again here, so you can see somebody here, someone there is 100% motivated. But essentially what that tells us is that their top 3 motivators are all being met 10 out of 10. So they're doing really well, but there's always a downside for everything. And we've got to be, and in this case, it's making sure that this person doesn't burn out and that they're taking time out of their work. So if they're getting so motivated with their business, they might forget that you have to sort of have some downtime at the weekends. So burnout might be an issue there. So there's lots of other things that can come out of a motivational team map, which is obviously personal. We talked about how lowest and highest motivators may cause a conflict. There's also motivators that are quite different. So I'm going to highlight those. So if we think about, let's think about director again. Director is someone that wants to be in charge. And then we've got friend. Friend is about belonging and friendships. And I know you probably realise that it's difficult to be in charge and be friendly and feel connected. So sometimes when we get people some people come to work for friendship and some people come to work to be in charge, you can see there's a little bit of a sort of conflict there. The key to this is making sure those people are in the right roles, that they're fulfilling those motivators and making use of those motivators, and making sure that they're appreciating what each person brings to the team. Friends tend to be great team builders. They bring people together. They don't want to be in charge. They're just team builders, and they sort of connect people. So that's one opposite motivators that sometimes become conflicts. Other ones, friend again, and spirit. So this comes up quite a lot, actually. So again, friends come to work for fulfillment, fulfilling their friendships and connections and relationships. Spirits, on the other hand, come to work because they want freedom, autonomy. They want to do things themselves on their own. They don't want people telling them what to do, and they don't really want to collaborate in particular. They will collaborate, but they need a bit more encouragement. So you can see there, there might be some characters there, again, that needs a bit more support and realise that actually there's no right or wrong about this, but making sure that those things don't become a conflict in the team. And just one more before I finish is that the searcher, as it's the top motivator for this team, and builder, because searcher is about making a difference, builder is about making money. Often that becomes a conflict because when you're trying to make a difference and also make money, it's quite difficult to do that. And so sometimes that sort of comes up. It doesn't become, the point is, using a motivational map, it doesn't become an issue because it's highlighted as that everyone brings good things to the team.